Hi everyone, welcome back to In the Ring.
In the ring. Bam, 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 bam. Hey guys.
Ick. Immediate ick.
Listen, today, as you can see, it's just me and my darling wife.
Really? You're going to say that? It's me and my prick husband. Can I say that?
What do you mean, can you say that? You just did.
I know, but should I bleep it?
Why would you bleep it?
Is it a cuss word?
Prick? No.
Oh, so Lavender can say it? She can call you that?
No.
Then...
Would you classify... No, see, I can't start dropping cuss words because then...
No, you can't.
Then it will be bad.
We're not in a horrible mood, but Josh was in a horrible mood earlier. Whenever he does anything a little bit inconvenient, he loses it and ruins my entire morning.
That's not true.
That is true.
Here's what...
And then something will mess up because of him, and then he'll blame the thing. So, like, for example, if we do this whole podcast and it's laggy or the volume doesn't work or whatever, he'll be like, well, everything was right, so then it has to be something else. And it never is. There's always an issue, and it's always him.
Well, in my defense, the only thing I don't like is when I'm doing something and it's like usually super easy, super convenient, super fast, and then it's not.
That's life. That's almost everything that you'll ever
do. Okay.
You do it with everything.
You do it with everything.
No, you do it with everything.
No, you do it with everything.
You will.
You want to go?
Every single thing that he does, if, like, for example, if I were to put something on the ground, that made sense why it was there, like I was sitting right next to it or something, and he walked over it, it's my fault. Why did you put that on the ground? Instead of him just like, why didn't you look that it was on the ground?
I don't say that. I do not say it like that.
Really?
I'll say, that's a great spot for that, and I'll be sarcastic about it. I'm not like, why did you put it on the ground? I'll literally say,
or like that situation that happened in the bed and my water bottle was on the bed. I know you wanted to go and be like, why'd you put your water bottle on the bed? When that's why I have that lid and I'm drinking water on the bed. What do you mean, why is the water bottle on the bed? There's a lid that closes. It didn't spill.
It's just sometimes things don't go in certain places and you love to put things in all of those places.
No, Josh, that's not even true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Like yesterday.
No. Things will not even be. Usually it's his fault that something happens, but it's everyone else's fault.
Like yesterday, when you moved that table over to this side, first of all, when you do that, put it back when you're done, please.
I had to rush to go get our daughter because you were terrified. For no reason. You're like, are you going to go get her? Are you going to go get her? She was literally peacefully sleeping.
Were you done with that table before you had to execute that move?
No.
Bull crap.
I wasn't. I still had my drink with the peaches and I didn't even get to finish my drink.
What did you drink, by the way?
I had coconut water and we're just arguing.
This is what
I forgot we're on a podcast.
This is what In the Ring was meant for.
That's true.
This was the whole idea about Couples in the Ring was for this. For Karlee and I to get on here and hash out the beef of married couples.
It was pineapple juice, coconut water, and frozen peaches.
How was it?
Awful.
Awful? I know, because why didn't you eat the peaches? You just left them in the cup?
I just don't think I had time. They're still really frozen, so I was waiting for them to thaw out.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to go in the bedroom because you were acting like she was dying or something when she was totally fine, peacefully sleeping, outlet sock on, in a safe crib space.
Okay, I understand.
Safe sleep.
But Lavender recently just started rolling from her back to her belly, okay? She did it at like 4 months old, randomly, went from back to belly, belly to back, and then she hasn't done it since. And as of, 2 days ago, she just started to roll from her back to her belly. So, last night, Karlee was out here watching some TV. Lavender was sound asleep.
In her crib, yeah. In a safe spot.
Of course. But Karlee comes, shows me the camera, and she's like, hey, look. And Lavender is literally on her stomach, sleeping. And that is the first time she's ever done that. So I'm like, oh my God, gotta go check on her. She was fine, obviously. And we have her outlet on. And you could see she was fine. But it was just like Oh my God. She's literally on her stomach, which is something very new. So it scared me a little bit. That's all.
So I had to go in there and basically check on her, and it woke her up. And then I had to reap the consequences for what you wanted me to do.
We have Lavender. She's fussy. She's tired. So there's going to be some cuts here. Sorry about it. It's not going to be perfect.
Oh my gosh, see, the comments are going to be like, you guys, we're praying for your relationship.
I can tell things are very tense right now for you.
Yes. Karlee, you better treat him nicely before he runs away. Oh, let me see how the way you treat your boyfriend.
You can see the evil in her eyes. That was legitimately a message I received, by the way.
That I have evil in my eyes.
Karlee has evil in her eyes. Also, I got a message. No, was it you that got the message about me being... What was it? Something about me being like mentally. I was something.
I thought I was.
We both were. We've both gotten them.
Oh, I was like a narcissist or something?
Karlee and I have been diagnosed via Instagram DMs multiple times. I'm a narcissistic abuser, maybe. I don't know if got that one. What are you?
I'm narcissist for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm narcissist. Manipulative,
narcissistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've both been diagnosed via Instagram DMs. Actually, it's gotten to a point where somebody said, my mother is a psychologist, and she told me to tell you that Karlee is blank, blank, blank.
Which I've actually been to a psychologist, actually. I've been to like a real psychologist, and the only thing I've ever been diagnosed with is OCD. So,
yeah, but apparently,
and generalized anxiety.
Yeah, but this person watched 10 minutes of a video, so I'm
right,
sure
which
they have.
Any real psychologist would say you can't diagnose somebody with a 10-minute video.
No, they can. That's any real. Yeah, we're on different pages, and I think any real psychologist.
It only makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
You go to school for years to diagnose people in 10 minutes.
Yeah, generally. No, my point was I believe that you can diagnose somebody from a 10-minute video that's edited in the way that person intended it to be. So I believe they were diagnosing you correctly.
Do you know what's sad is people are actually going to think you're legit.
I know, but
Isn't that sad that you have to like explain to people that like, hey, this is sarcasm?
Yeah.
I feel bad for you guys, honestly.
Well,
not these people, but like
no,
the people that like
there are people though
take everything so seriously. I'm like, honestly, your life must be pretty boring if you can't detect sarcasm.
A lot of people can't. They have honestly. So I consider myself to be like super sarcastic. Karlee is super sarcastic. So it's funny because a lot of people, even in our like life, they can't detect sarcasm at all. Like they can't detect it, and I'm like being so obvious about it. I feel like maybe not. Maybe we have bad delivery. Maybe it's us.
It's not us. It's never
maybe we
us.
should look inner.
It's never us.
Yeah.
As a narcissist, I can say wholeheartedly, it's never us.
As an Instagram DM,
it's everyone else.
As an Instagram DM diagnosed narcissist.
Yes. Which, by the way, some girl. Which, if you're watching this,
ooh.
Actually, no, I'm not going to say anything because that's bad.
Ooh.
Called Lavender Annoying because she was just a little bit fussy in a video. And call my daughter annoying again, and I will give you a hug.
A big hug.
A huge, tight hug.
So let's address.
Okay.
Nick came here. As you could tell, he was via green screen on the podcast.
Apparently.
Via green screen in our sarcasm. Mukbang. Yeah, via green screen in the mukbang.
Yeah, on the podcast.
The podcast, TikToks. He was here virtually, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Technology has come a long way, which is great. So Nick was here, stayed with us for a little bit. Side note, great guest. Wouldn't even have known he was here. He was very to himself, very quiet, very nice. But we ended up doing a mukbang on Karlee and I's mukbang channel with Nick. Now, it was an unplanned mukbang.
He was coming here strictly to hang out, like we always have.
Yes, he was coming to visit Karlee, to hang out with Karlee because they have not seen each other in a couple years. The last time you saw him is when we went and visited him.
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, whenever it was.
2020 or something.
Like super long ago. No, 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, he came strictly for that. Anything that was filmed here, the podcast, the mukbangs, the TikToks, all spontaneous. Wasn't planned, right? So Nick came on our channel. Karlee made him her ribs that she makes so wonderfully. And he came here and he was nice enough to come on the mukbang channel. All of the comments, and again, we know these aren't people that watch our channel. Right. They weren't from us, because everybody knows we have a daughter. She's in all of the videos now. It's kind of something we do. So all of the comments were just absolutely hating on us, on our 5-month-old baby.
I'm sorry, if you can blatantly say that a 5-month-old is annoying, you have severe mental issues, and that's something that I can diagnose within a comment, and because that's not normal behavior.
And it's funny because you left the cuts in, like,
on
purposely
purpose
at the beginning of the video to kind of show, okay, this is kind of the dynamic
and
right
this
now.
is why we were a little bit quiet.
Yes,
because we wanted to not freak her out and make her cry. And by the way, that was very out of character for her,
Yeah.
which is why it was so weird. We're like, why is she screaming? She never
she
does
just
that.
randomly lost it twice at the beginning of the video, which was weird. Anyway, so we filmed it and we were calm and we really didn't plan it. So a lot of people were upset. They're like, oh, you have Nick Ocado here and it's a wasted opportunity and blah, 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 blah. And then people were like, oh, he flew across the world.
Which they must have been people thinking that he came just for a mukbang, or that he came... And by the way, he's not across the world. He's literally actually very close.
First of all, it's... Again, I wanted to preface, the mukbang was not a planned video. It wasn't like he came here to film that mukbang.
No.
If he came here to film a mukbang, Lavender would not have been in the video. We would have had someone come over and watch her, or I wouldn't have just been in the video. I just would have left. Like, it's one of those things where it wasn't planned. It was spontaneous. It was something we just wanted to do. She was making the ribs anyway. Why not record it? Like, it's one of those things. So people were very upset about it, saying all kinds of, honestly, pretty rude stuff. And again, for us, it was just for fun. And of course, the video wasn't like your regular videos with him. Right. But you had 2 additional people in the video. And
like, honestly, if you're gonna be mad, listen, if I didn't have her, they'd be like, you're a deadbeat mom, where's your daughter? And then if I have her, there's a problem that I have her. Sorry, but like, I want to be around my daughter, and I'm not gonna have someone watch her just do a mukbang. If it was a planned mukbang and he came here for a mukbang, of course we would have made it a formal, more professional thing.
Of course,
But for us, it was just like,
could have had planned anything. Like,
for us, it was just like we're eating with our friend Nick. Like, we do that all the time. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. So honestly, we were very kind of taken back by the comments, and I was like, damn, this is kind of weird. Like,
just like our video when we were quiet because she was napping in the back.
Yeah, everyone had like some investigative work to do, and they're all detectives now and all.
But you know what's crazy? I've never ever watched a video and like dissected it like that. I just watch it and then I move on. Like, it's very weird.
And a lot of people were like, a lot of people, again, that watch us, they were coming to our defense, which we always appreciate.
Yeah. And you could tell they weren't our viewers saying that.
Clearly not.
Definitely not.
And I think people were just kind of throwing off. It's like the biggest mukbanger in the world, and he's on our little channel. And, and they're like, why would you waste this golden opportunity, not knowing the dynamic? You guys are just friends. It wasn't a business move.
No.
Because if it was a business move, the video would have been a lot better than that. So... again, it was just kind of weird. I was really thrown off. And then the person that's calling our 5-month-old baby annoying
is insane.
Crazy. And it's like, to me, I'm like, man,
I hope that person does not ever have kids, because they're in for a rude awakening.
I've just never, again, like you said, I've never went on a video and like, first of all, if I'm watching a video and I get annoyed at something, or I just don't like it, or whatever, I'm just going to turn it off.
Like a normal person.
Like, nobody is forcing you with those things that keep your eyes open to sit there and watch them.
And I've said this time and time again. It's like turning on a movie, blatantly hating it, and then you just keep watching it, and then they come up with a second and third and fourth, and then you just watch them all. Nobody does that.
I know. That's such a good point.
You don't watch the first movie and hate it, and then go see the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. No, because you don't like something. So if you're still watching and you claim you don't like it, you like something. Because just like if you don't like a food, you're not going to keep eating it keep ordering it every time you go to the restaurant.
It's like people, you go to like a movie theater, right? And you go to watch a movie and you pay for the ticket. You go, you sit down, the movie starts, and you absolutely hate it. There are people that walk out of movies that they drove to and paid for, but they won't click off a video that's free.
But then they'll keep watching all the other ones that come out.
Imagine
going to a restaurant, ordering a food you don't like, so you finish it, whatever, you finish the food, and then the next week you go there and you order the same thing over and over, and you just keep complaining over and over and over again. You know how I know that if you're watching me and you do that you actually like me? Because in any other aspect of your life, that would not happen. If you did not like something or someone or a clothes that you wore, you wouldn't keep putting it on. You wouldn't keep eating the same food. You wouldn't keep watching the movie you didn't like. So if you're coming back to my channel when you don't like me, it means something in you likes me. Sorry to break it to you.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
And there's going to be the people right now that are watching that don't like me that come, that is not true. I'm watching you because it makes my life feel better. Because you're just a POS and
whatever. And I just wanted to address the people that watch that mukbang. I don't even know why we're doing it, because the people who watch that mukbang are not watching this.
Here. That's true.
So it's a waste of time, but also it's more to like kind of, I guess, address the elephant in the room is like, that was not planned. It was for fun. That's why it may have not been. Listen, it wasn't our best mukbang. Of course not. We've had tons of those where you're like, hey, we're going to eat because we have it. We're going to film it because we can. And we're going to put out content. And maybe it's not the best one you've ever seen. And maybe it wasn't the most entertaining one you've ever seen. But again, kind of the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, is what I'll say. So anyway, wanted to address that. Yeah, to that wonderful commenter. I think there were actually a couple that mentioned, why you have Nick Ocado here? Why would you have your boyfriend and your daughter in the video? Yeah, they call me your boyfriend. But yeah.
Oh, did we even address why we didn't have 2 podcasts come out? I'll address it. So the first one is because Nick Nick was supposed to leave on like a Thursday, and then he ended up staying till Saturday because we had extra plans. We were just having fun, and so we usually do the podcast on Saturdays, but we didn't because obviously we had to drive Nick to the airport, and then we could have done it on Sunday, but Lavender was up like, oh my gosh, that day was literal hell. Yeah,
it sucks because we kind of never know what we're in for at this point. It's like we can have a really good night, or you can have a night where she's up every hour. Like that day, she was up every like 45 minutes. You'd put her down, and it wasn't even like she was sleeping for the full 45 minutes in her crib. It's like we would hold her. She would sleep for 20. You'd put her down. She'd only sleep for another 25 before she was up again. It was, frankly,
hell.
Yeah, it was a very bad night. So that was the 1 week. And then what was the next one? Why did we miss the second one?
I think the same issue.
Oh, yeah, it was Lavender, right?
Yeah, it was the same problem.
Yeah.
And then this week, sick isn't feeling good, so we almost canceled it again. But I was like, you know what? No, I can't do 3.
I was going to make a joke that we fired him. I totally forgot to say it. I was like,
you can't fire someone who does it for free.
No, I know. It was a joke. I was going to say it, but I totally forgot to make the joke. So anyway.
So he won't be here next week either, because if he's sick right now, then he can't be here next week. Just because we want to make sure Lavender doesn't get sick, but we will do a podcast again. So
I was literally in the middle of setting it up, and honestly, it probably would have ended up being a 3rd week missed if he messaged us like the night before and was like, hey, I don't feel well. I mean, we probably, thank God the equipment's already here, so it was easy, but anyway, so yeah, we're here.
Let's talk about the election.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
First of all,
okay,
I already know I'm going to get so much slack for this, and I'm going to get hate for it, but let's just be how it is. Everyone, well, first of all, I'm Canadian, and I can't vote. So if you're mad at me for my opinion, it didn't actually have any say in who your president is. So don't get mad at me, because I literally couldn't vote. I'm Canadian. So if you're mad at anyone, it should not be me, okay? Okay. Anyways, my point is, I think a lot of people, I understand why politics can get personal, obviously, because it is a personal choice. That being said, you have to remember it's a personal choice. So a lot of people are like they're not being friends with people because of how they voted. And like I've seen people being like, oh, I was friends with someone for 14 years. I just stopped being friends with them because of who they voted for. Or my husband voted for somebody else. Like now I have to separate from him. Like, I'm sorry, that's a little bit insane. And you have to remember the whole reason why we have the right to vote is because you have the right to vote. And you have the right to your opinion, and everybody's going to vote off of their own values, their own morals, what benefits them the most, what benefits their family the most. And you can't get, and what actually, honestly, like people also forget that you can vote a different party each year based on where your life has been in those 4 years. Like your whole circumstances could change and you could end up voting for the whole opposite party that you voted for the previous election. And that's okay. And that's normal. You're supposed to vote for you, not for anybody else, not for anyone else's opinion. And I think people need to just remember that everyone's doing what's best for them and you can't expect everyone to do what's best for you. That's just the truth. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think people get almost offended at people's political views, and to me, I can't really make sense of why I should care so much about what you believe or what you think. It's like
there's multiple parties for that reason, though. It's because some people are going to like that party and some people are going to like the other. That's the whole point.
And again, it's like I agree with you. I think everybody should vote selfishly. Because it's a you choice, right? Like, yes. I'm not voting for, so and so. I'm voting because I have views and what I think or what I believe is going to benefit me or my family, versus everybody else.
And a lot of people say, well, it comes down to morals and blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, everyone's morals are different. That's just the truth. And it doesn't come down to morals. Honestly, it comes down to what's best for you. It doesn't have anything to do with morals. And also, who's running for president you're not supposed to be like, oh, I really like that person's personality. No, it should say, I really like these people, this person's laws, this person's policies, their economics, all of that. It shouldn't be, oh, I really like this person's personality. That just, you don't vote for personality. You vote off of what they're going to do for your country.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, honestly, however you voted, whichever way you voted, the election's done. Regardless of what you think, what you want to believe, the election is over. The president has been selected because of majority popular vote and electoral college. Obviously, you have to win the electoral college, but he won the popular vote this time as well. Versus in 2016 when Hillary Clinton actually won the popular vote, but he still won the election. I can understand why people in a democracy would be upset at that result, because I'm thinking, in Canada, it's popular vote, based on the ridings, whatever. We have a whole different system, but the U.S. has a very unique system. So with the electoral college, I can understand why people were mad in 2016. Unfortunately, you can't really be mad this time around because America made their decision. Go ahead. What's
crazy too is I feel like a lot of people they're like, oh, it was rigged or cheated or whatever the case is. And like, listen, I understand that's kind of because everyone's like, oh, did you see all the support online? You have to remember too, a lot of this is like a lot of the people voting for Trump were not openly talking about it because they'd get legit bullied, like legit. And a lot of them are probably older people that are not on Twitter and not on Instagram. So it might seem like your whole feed was about Harris and you're like, well, how did she possibly lose?
Yeah, but
a lot of the Trump supporters aren't in your face screaming it and bullying you.
Anybody can think that something was rigged based on something they saw. There was people that posted TikTok videos saying, oh, apparently my dead father,
that is crazy.
Who's been dead since 2012, voted.
I do believe that's
of course, but
that's
it's again, you could see 5 of those videos and be like, oh, well, election was rigged.
Do I think that the voting system there is flawless? Absolutely not. It's definitely messed up for sure. And I'm like fully
because the argument is, how did Joe Biden get 81 million votes in 2020, record voting numbers, all the way down to Kamala, who is now only got they're not done counting, but about 66 million votes.
I will say this is, we didn't know how Donald Trump would be as president, for one.
Right.
But now that he was in office and now that people know, I think he got more votes that way, because the first time.
Well, no, his votes didn't change. He got the same amount of votes he did in 2020. Same voting.
But didn't a lot of people not vote this year, or
that's the thing, is people were shocked because they're like, well, Joe Biden in 2020 had 81 million votes, which is a record number of votes. I want to say Donald Trump had 71 million or 72 million. I can't remember the exact numbers, but this year Donald Trump's votes didn't change drastically. They were very similar to what they were in 2020 versus Kamala She only, as of...
So then there's a bunch of people that didn't vote, basically.
Right. So they're thinking...
Oh, I see. That's
why people...
Okay,
are now even looking into the 2020 election even more, because they're like, where did...
Well, maybe, okay, so like in 4 years, people that couldn't vote before can now vote. So maybe a lot of the younger population that, first of all, don't care about politics or don't know enough about it, so they just rather not vote. Maybe that's why, or no? It is weird.
Here's the thing, is it's like...
That is weird.
Again, I don't know what her numbers are as of right at this moment.
Right.
The last I checked, when he won the election, when he was voted president, I believe she was at about 66 million something. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden had 81 million. Where did all of those tens of millions, where did they go?
Valid. That's valid.
So that's why a lot of people are...
That is valid.
A little bit more skeptical about the 2020 election than they even were before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even in 2020, people were like, damn, 81 million people voted for Joe Biden. That's crazy. Obama didn't even have those numbers. Obama was one of the... Like... There was so much hype around Barack Obama, and he didn't even have numbers like that. Joe Biden literally stomped out records, and where'd the people go?
That is true. It's a valid argument.
I don't know. I think there was so much hype from celebrities, and I mean, listen, it just goes to show that celebrities don't have the pull that they think they do, which I love to see.
Me too.
I don't think you should base your political opinion off of your favorite celebrity and what they think.
No, that's insane.
I think it's very stupid.
You shouldn't base your vote on what anyone thinks other than yourself.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, like, I understand people are online and they're trying to spread awareness for their party, and they're trying to get votes for the party that they want to win, which I understand. A lot of people, political commentators, a lot of people do this. Charlie Kirk, big famous one.
Love him.
Right, and there's people, like, that's his whole job, is to spread the word, get young voters to go out and vote, and to vote.
Yeah, no, valid. I get it. And listen, I am not mad at either side. I don't care who you voted for at all. And I'm just going to say that point blank, period. Well,
and listen, as a Canadian, yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It does, though. I think a lot of Americans are like, you're Canadian, why do you care so much about American politics? Because it does directly impact Canada a lot.
It directly impacts Canada a lot, but it also impacts the world. People, I don't know why people don't remember the U.S. is a superpower. What happens in the United States? Did you already see? Vladimir Putin is already ready to talk to Donald Trump about the Ukraine war. Hamas, I don't know for sure about. I saw
the thing too.
I saw the article, but I did not do research about it, so I can't say for sure that's what happened.
But we saw one that
apparently
stopped.
They're ready to call a ceasefire or stop the war, whatever the case. China, the president of China, is already wanting to be in talks with Donald Trump. He has a poll that a lot of U.S. presidents don't have.
Literally stepped into North Korea, which is insane.
Yeah, which is the first time that's ever happened.
I don't think people realize how crazy that is.
And that's what I mean. Like, when you have whatever your views are about him, okay, whatever. You have views about him, that's fine. But you can't deny the fact that Donald Trump has almost struck fear into a lot of these countries in a good way, a respectful relationship with a lot of these big countries and these people that you kind of paint to be villains, obviously, which again, like Kim Jong-un, it's rightfully so. But the fact that the American president can have a relationship with these people, I feel like that's something you would want for de-escalation and for safety and peace. Why wouldn't you want to have?
Do you want to know what I already know? The top comment is going to be here.
What?
It's going to be something about politics and say, I'm unfollowing or I'm unsubscribing with blue hearts or something.
Whatever. Listen, again, we're Canadian. It's our opinion.
Don't get mad at us. We can have no say here.
It's actually irrelevant what we think here.
It's so actually irrelevant. So if you're going to get mad at anyone, don't be mad at us.
Of course, it affects us, but as trading partners, as neighbors, as allies, it obviously affects us. But at the end of the day, we have zero say in how that election went. But I will say, if you're Canadian and you're watching this right now, when our election comes up next year, please go out and vote. Please go vote. I literally said to my whole family, that they better be at those polls.
I've never voted, actually.
You need to exercise your right to vote, especially in this next election. Please, for the love of God, go vote. Yes. I don't care. Whatever. You want to vote for JT? Go ahead. I don't know
who in their right mind.
I don't know. Listen, if you want to talk about Canadian politics, I'm all for that, because that affects us. You know what?
Maybe we should do like a Patreon special, just because a lot of Canadians aren't. Majority is American viewers, but if you're Canadian and you want to see, maybe we can do like a little Patreon exclusive talking about Canadian politics, so they have the choice to watch it or not. Or maybe do an extra episode on my vlog channel or something. Not on the main,
that's fine.
Because I want to talk about it and I want to react to it.
I'm super down for that, and I have a lot of opinions, especially. I think we both have a lot of opinions, especially about the Canadian election, the Canadian government. Again, you guys in the States you don't really pay attention to what happens over here. A lot of people don't. They don't know. But trust me, we've felt your pain. We're going through the same things in terms of the last 4 years, the last 8 years.
Inflation, all of it.
For us, it's been the last 9 years. So we know gradually things have gotten worse and worse and worse.
And I understand why, if you voted for the opposite party, to how heartbroken you are, because I couldn't imagine, like, after we vote this time, if
Justin Trudeau wins,
I'm gonna be upset.
I will.
I get it.
I'm not setting up the camera in the car and having a meltdown.
No,
but I will be very upset.
Yes, me too. And like, so I understand you're voting for your own rights and your own what you want. So I understand to be upset, because I would be upset too.
I totally get
if Justin Trudeau wins again, I will be dyeing my hair blue.
You know what's funny is so many people were like, a lot of people were like, oh my God, if Donald Trump wins, I'm moving out of the country. I'm moving to Canada.
We don't want you, first of all.
Second of all, you don't want to come here.
It's worse.
You guys think you have it bad over there?
It's way worse here.
People don't understand what kind of condition the Canadian economy is in right now.
Well, we have the right to abortion, so maybe that's why they want to come.
That is true. That if that's your main talking point and that's your main reason to vote, sure, we have that here. Sure, if that's what you want to do, but everything else about the country is in disarray. So
if you want to pay, I don't know, like $15 for like a small block of cheese, or like maybe $1 million for like a shack, I mean, you can come here if you want. You're gonna be homeless.
You'll
be homeless. Oh, and actually, maybe not though, because you'll be like, you're coming here with nothing, so maybe not.
The government will incentivize you.
That is true.
Give you everything you need.
You might be able to just move right into my house, though. But I can't even fight you on it.
No, that is true. That is true. Yep. So I mean, I've seen a lot of that. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are hilarious, thinking, well, you're gonna come to a better country. There's few things about Canada right now that are better. Canada used to be an amazing country. Amazing country.
And I still love being Canadian citizen.
Me too. I wouldn't change it.
I would never get rid of my Canadian citizenship.
No, me neither.
But it's not nearly as enjoyable as it used to be.
No, country's changed. Canada has changed as a whole. It's sad to see. We're in shitty times, just like you guys in the United States. You guys have been through a lot of change, a lot of crappy stuff in the last little bit. So trust me, if you think you have it bad, we know your pain. Seriously, we really do.
Also, I know this podcast is a little bit more serious, and kind of like, I know a lot of people come here to like kind of escape all of this real world stuff, but we did talk about how we are kind of changing the vibe of the podcast, and we're getting like a little bit more grown up and talking about politics and stuff. So the next podcast probably won't be like this, but obviously the election and the president is new, so we're talking about it now. Yeah,
it's news.
But don't worry, we're not always going to be this boring and miserable and grumpy and conservative.
Yeah, I think that's what Sick's good for too. Is he's the comedic relief.
Yes, yeah, Sick is hilarious.
I mean, honestly, if it were up to me, if this was like a Josh podcast, which thank God it's not, it would be all of this stuff, which people
I would love I have yet to find though a podcast about politics that I really, really enjoy.
I think it's nice to have because the problem is when you have a political podcast, it's like, that's it. It's just politics. Yeah. I would like to listen to a podcast that incorporates a little bit of everything. You have a little bit of comedic relief. You have a little bit of political discussion.
Yeah. The thing is too, though, is I feel like doing a political podcast is so scary because or talking about politics, especially for me, because my fan base, if you built your fan base off of politics, I think it would be
different.
fine.
Yeah, it's
but
different.
like mine is based off of just like people just enjoy me, and because people are taking politics so seriously, I'm scared to say anything about my.
But this is what's sad to me is first of all, we live in a free country, both countries, very free countries, free speech.
And if we're fighting for rights, well, I have the right to vote and have an opinion.
Exactly.
So.
And so the thing is what's mind-boggling to me a little bit is that people are scared to voice their political opinions.
But only one side is scared because the other side bullies.
That's what I'm getting at.
There's only one side.
That's what I'm getting at. And it's just funny to me. It's like, for those of you who care to know, I'm a conservative. Have been for many years.
Well, people think that I'm a conservative only because you're a conservative.
Yeah, but no, that's not.
Which is insane.
But you have to remember, guys, like Karlee and I, when we first got together, listen, of course we have some non-conservative.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone's fully one way or the other.
Yeah, like
there's a lot of things I don't agree with.
Yeah, of course there's some viewpoints
party.
that I would go the other way. Not many, but there are some.
No, yeah, of course.
And there's also things that we've done that, as a conservative, you would never think to ever do something like that. Like when we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's something that's very not conservative, and we did it, and it doesn't change my political views at all. But anyway, all I'm saying is like, it would be crazy to think that way, because Karlee and I, when we first got together, I think as any couple, you need to agree and you need to align morally. You need to align politically. Mm-hmm. You need to have the same opinions about things, in order to actually have like a nice relationship. I don't know.
I agree. Clearly, it's important, because people were saying I'm divorcing my husband because he voted for Trump. So yeah. So I mean, clearly it's important. It doesn't mean that I changed my view. And listen, honestly, probably when I was 18, 19, even 20 years old, I would say I was probably not a conservative. Yeah. But I did my research, I learned, and I was a conservative before I met Josh. Yeah,
okay? I think Karlee just wasn't really into the political side of things.
I was a kid. I was like, I don't
care. But I'm saying even like you might have been conservative before we got together, but I think you dialed in like, oh damn, I am a conservative. Once Karlee would tell me an opinion about something, I'd be like, yeah, that's a conservative viewpoint. That's a conservative policy. That's something that like, that's a conservative. Well,
and I just grew up and I matured and I'm a mom now. So like my views change. And again, that's what I was saying, is it's normal for you can vote one party 1 year and the next 4 years vote another party. That's normal. Your views can change based on what happens in your life. So anyways, I never voted before in my life.
Yeah. And I think it's something where, you grow, you mature. When you start to have a family, things become more important to you, things become less important to you, and it's okay to have a political shift. You can have an opinion that changes. You're allowed to change opinions. You're allowed to think differently.
That's the best part about being
exactly.
Canada and America.
It's the best part about being a human is you can change. Everything can change. So again, I know people, whatever, I was saying, not that it matters to you guys, but we have very conservative viewpoints.
It does matter to them because they're probably going to unsubscribe now.
But what I was saying is like, it's crazy that in today's day and age, it's like a lot of people are scared to talk about their political opinions, you included, because you're scared to lose a base of people that have supported you for years and years and years over a view of a political.
And clearly, if the view was that different and it made me such a horrible person, then you wouldn't have liked me to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't make sense to me.
So I just don't understand why people let like you voting for a certain person skew their whole opinion about you. I just don't understand why it would be that detrimental to somebody's relationship. Like people getting divorced over again, I can understand a little bit that you need to match up politically because that's generally speaking, it's how you kind of base your life. Right. Just on like morality and
but I don't think the whole moral thing is valid because
no, I'm saying it's part of it though. Like a lot of sides you'll see like certain things are important to certain certain people who vote certain ways. Like it's pretty kind of baseline. If you're conservative, you generally have these opinions, or if you're a liberal or democratic, you have these type of opinions, right? So I can understand, I can sympathize a little bit, but at the same time, it's like you're ending. We've seen these things online: 14-year marriage, 10-year friendship. It's like you're ruining that over a vote. But
they're like, oh, I'm doing it over morals and stuff. But it's like, okay, but you've been best friends with this person for over a decade.
Yeah, so clearly you guys have been.
They're a good person. Their morals you align, like, doesn't mean like everything you align with, but clearly they're a good overall person for you to be their best friend. So we're not we, but that person clearly isn't as bad as you think they are, because it was fine until you found out who they voted for.
Yeah, but it's just crazy to me that people are now starting to get scared to talk about things. And honestly, and I can't speak for Karlee because this is Karlee's platform and she's built this and worked very hard over the years to achieve what she's achieved.
All to make it crashing down from this comment.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, I just don't think it's not my place to say whatever, but at the same time, like, I've had to kind of, I feel like I've kind of had to shelter my opinions and my views because I don't want it to have a negative effect on what you've worked so hard to do for yourself. But
see, part of me though wants, first of all, I love Patreon because I feel like Patreon, they're all like mature people that like we can have an actual conversation on who you're voting for and why.
Yeah, without it being like emotional
and rude and bullying and attacking. I think that's why I love Patreon, but I would like to hope that eventually maybe one day I won't care, so that, because I want people watching me that are open-minded, that are mature, and that can have an open conversation. I don't want people watching me who are going to unfollow me off of one opinion. I think that's insane. I think that if all it takes after 10 years of me being on this platform for me to have one different opinion than you, for you to unsubscribe from me, I don't think I really want you watching me anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, that again, that's kind of like, I hope that we can get to a point, you can get to a point, and again, I only say we because obviously I'm part of it, to get to a point where you can openly discuss these things and discuss these views without people being upset at the way you feel. Because even like Karlee got into like an interaction on, I don't know if it was Twitter or wherever the hell it was, about a political discussion.
And they brought up my son Luca, by the way. Isn't that cool?
They did?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
What did they say?
I said, I can't even vote anyways, so why are you crying, womp womp, or something? And they said, well, that's what we said when Luca died, womp womp. That's what they said to me. And then I reported it to Twitter, and they told me, sorry, that doesn't violate any rules. That's what they said to me. So, yeah. So say it to my face.
I did not know they said that.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of insane. See, it's not everybody on that side, but a lot of people, and I can't generalize because people are like, wow.
No, not everyone.
I can say this about people who vote conservative.
I don't want to generalize something, but I've found that a lot of people on the left
are mean,
are like,
and bullying.
Well, clearly,
instead of just having an actual conversation.
Well, someone's upset that you have a political view that actually is irrelevant because we don't live there and
that's
we can't
what I
vote.
said. I was like, they're like, I said something about like, oh, I wish I could vote, and then they're like, oh, thank God you can't. And I'm like, and then someone else responded, said, oh, you're really a Trumpy. And then I responded with like my reasoning, not my reasoning why, but I was just like, oh, like, and they pulled up tweets of me saying that I didn't like Trump like a long time ago. And I was like, yeah, that's normal. Like, my views changed. I grew up. I did my research. I learned more about politics. Yeah, I once didn't like Trump, and now I do. And basically they were responding with how horrible I am. And I said, well, if you have any actual things to say, like some links or something to actually back up what you're saying to me, I'm more than happy to have a discussion with you. And they just kept going on and on and on and being rude. And I'm like, I don't know why you're being rude to me because I can't vote anyways, okay? So womp womp. I can't vote anyways. So I don't know why you're so mad at me. I literally can't vote, so you're mad at the wrong woman. And I said womp womp. And then they said, well, that's how we all felt when Luca died, womp womp. Isn't that insane? I'm sorry. That's insane.
Yeah, people are. So, again, I just pulled up the vote count because it's updated, obviously. So the last time and again, someone's already going to say, well, Kamala actually got 70 million votes. Okay, so now I know, because the last
very second
when she lost, she only had 66 million in the count. Obviously, more votes have come in, and they now counted. So I don't even know if this is the final update. This is just updated as of 11 a.m., which is the time right now. She has 70,373,000 votes. Donald Trump has 74,303,000 votes. So if you're going to be upset, be upset at the 74 million people that voted for Donald Trump.
Not the one
one Canadian who can't vote for him. You absolute dummies. And I'm only calling you a dummy because you're getting upset at somebody that has no say in how that election went.
And then
literally zero.
And then brought up my son.
And then brought up our...
And you know why you probably... Never mind.
Anyway.
I'm not saying it.
So that's the only reason
I just need to bring myself back to
why I'm going to stoop down to your level a little bit and call you a dummy is because you're getting mad at somebody who has nothing to do with the decision that was made. So go talk to your neighbors and your friends and your relatives.
Insult them, not me.
Insult them if you'd like, because you're a rude person and you're sad. And the 74 million other people who voted for your new president. Sorry. You're talking to the wrong people. Womp womp. Unfortunately, it is a womp womp because you're talking to people who have no opinion about, or who have not opinion. We have no say in how that election went. We can't even cast one vote. We can't even do half a vote. You can't even do half a vote. Can't even do a quarter. Can't if we wanted to. Can't if we tried. So you're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, sorry she lost. I don't know what to tell you. She lost bad. She lost really bad. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Nothing worked. I'm sorry. All this celebrity endorsement and all these little concerts, Beyonce and whoever else, and
dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce.
Sorry, it didn't work. And again, and the only reason I'm doing this right now is because I think it's hilarious that two Canadian people who, again, have zero say and zero influence on how that election went. It's just funny that's who you decide to take your anger out on and say absolutely crude and horrible things to. So you want to call us out for voting Pierre Poilievre? Be my guest, because that is what's going to happen. So you want to call us out for doing that? Sure, you can call me out, because I am voting Pierre Poilievre, and so is my wife. So if you want to be upset about anything, you can be upset about that.
But they're not going to be, because they don't know who the hell that is.
They're like, who? Exactly. So anyway, yeah, so I know we've talked about the election for quite a bit now. It's done. It's over with. And yeah, if
you are a normal adult and you decided to continue listening and not unsubscribe already, the next podcast will not be like this. We'll make sure that we don't talk about politics in the next one.
Yeah, and you can have a difference of opinion and still watch somebody, by the way.
Yep, I can like pink, you can like purple, and we can still be friends.
So anyway, yeah, it won't be we're only talking about politics because it's worldwide news. It just happened. This is the first podcast we've done since the election, so obviously it's gonna happen. And we're gonna talk about it. So unfortunately, but yeah, the next one won't be like this. And if you are actually, let me ask, if you have got this far and you're still listening, whatever, comment below. Let us know. Is this something you would want us to incorporate more of? Now, I'm not saying 50% of the time. I'm not even saying 25% of the time. I'm just saying little segments like this, maybe every once in a while. Is it something you'd be completely opposed to? Would you rather us completely leave politics out of the discussion of the podcast? What do you think? I just want opinions, because you're allowed to have them.
Exactly. And everyone likes to be like, oh, you put it out there, we can have an opinion. Okay, so you can have an opinion, but I can't. People are constantly, we can have opinions. You put it on the internet, we can have opinions, as they're straight up like harassing me. But listen, we can all have opinions, and that's fine. And we can all be mature about it and not cry in our car over it. Okay?
Yeah, that's it.
So
That's it.
Someone literally said that to me about my son, and I literally just obviously it bothered me because I'm talking about it, and that's like rude, but like it didn't bother me enough to like make my whole day ruined. And listen, my husband didn't even know about it.
No, I had no idea that happened. She didn't tell me about it. We never talked to.
And
literally, I'm finding out for the first time right now.
Someone brought up my deceased son, and I didn't let it ruin my entire day. So my opinion on something that I couldn't vote for shouldn't ruin yours. Okay? Okay.
That is crazy, though. I did not know that happened. That's nuts.
Oh, yeah, it's nuts.
Okay. Well, anyway. Nothing I can do now. I couldn't do anything anyway.
Can't do anything
in general. Okay.
I just wish someone said it to my face. So I can give them a hug.
It will never happen.
I just want to give them a hug and say, thanks for your opinion.
That will never happen. It doesn't happen to anybody.
Or with the real profile picture.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Again, anybody that talks to anybody online in a negative or rude way would never, ever, ever, ever say that to somebody's face.
No. Never.
Especially something that that is absolutely vile to say to somebody.
Yeah.
So, no, they would never do that. Womp womp.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A whole politics podcast. We were not planning on doing this.
No, we weren't. Honestly, let's get real.
Okay, let's get real.
We sit down for this podcast with, frankly, zero material most of the time. We had a little bit of something to talk about because of the whole Nick mukbang and all the comments and blah blah blah. I was gonna actually pull some comments up and read them, but a little too late for that. You can go read them yourself. But we kind of just sit down. We press record and we kind of just talk about whatever we want to talk about. And I don't know how long we're at. I think we're about like 45 minutes ish. And we just talk for 45 minutes about absolutely nothing.
Yep.
So, and this is the way we've done it since.
Do you have any emails you want to read today or no?
That's a great question. Let me look.
As he's looking, if you guys want to subscribe to my Patreon, you really should. I do 2 videos there a week plus 2 live streams, and it's really fun over there. And I feel like everyone there is kind of more mature and able to talk and debate and have normal conversations and not be offended by everything. And you see a lot of like the real Karlee and the real Josh. We bicker on camera. We go to Costco. We go for walks. We just do like real life normal things. And if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and go and subscribe for only $5. And if you do the whole year, you also get 20% off. So you end up getting 2 free months, which is really cool. And do you have an email?
I have a weird one. I did not see this. So these have come in actually right after the podcast with Nick. We had quite a few emails come in.
Good.
A lot of people emailed in. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. Couplesinthering@gmail.com. If you want to submit an email, it could be about anything. Anything. And we would love to read them and see what's going on. So this email is titled, "Should I Be Concerned? My Fiance and Michael Myers Kink."
What
Do you know who
hell?
Michael Myers is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it like a horror movie?
My ear is itchy. Yes. So it says, "Hey guys, love the podcast. Please keep this anonymous." No problem. Always is. Unless you state otherwise. It's always anonymous, by the way. "Something happened the other day with my fiance that I thought was weird. I'm wondering if you guys think the same. So, as we all know, Halloween is approaching." I'm sorry about that. This was previous. This is a long time ago now, but again, we missed 2 weeks, so I apologize. Halloween is approaching, and TMI, but it's always been a fantasy of mine to get intimate with my fiance while he wears a scary mask.
Is this legit? You
Yeah.
think? Okay.
Probably. Well,
Okay.
Let's keep reading. "Maybe this is weird, but I've always wanted to try LOL. So we have a Michael Myers mask laying around, and while things were getting frisky, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity. I grabbed the mask and asked him if he could put it on. He loved the idea and went along with it. It was kind of like role play, and I guess we didn't actually role play the chase or the part. LOL. Just wanted to clear that up. So he puts the mask on, and we're going at it, and we're both super into it. Fast forward, he takes the mask off, and as a joke, I put it on.
Oh.
At this point, we were not in the act. Okay. Suddenly, all right, well, this is getting a little too descriptive for me, but
Say it in an
I
appropriate.
can't. It's not even like an inappropriate word. It's just the description is like so like I'm fuck. like it feels like you could be there.
Oh God.
It's like, anyway, I'll try to
just say something.
So,
else.
and as a joke, I put it on. They're not doing it at this moment. Suddenly, he
is excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
And starts going at it.
Okay.
While I have the mask on.
Okay.
At first, I thought he was joking, but he was staring directly into the eyes of Michael Myers.
This cannot be real.
And it looked like he was really enjoying himself, moaning and all.
Oh my.
In my head,
by himself?
I'm like, is he attracted to Michael Myers, ? Or men in general, ? I've never gotten that suspicious before, but he was really into it, more than I was expecting. I had to stop him in his tracks because I didn't want him to...
Yeah.
If he did, I definitely would have had some concerns. We spoke about it afterwards, and he just said, I was thinking of you, not him.
I wish Sick was here.
Okay.
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 Did anyone know that meme?
I was thinking of you, not him, but I thought that was weird because he was staring at the mask the whole time. Should I be concerned that he likes men?
Yes.
Help. Yeah, that's your thing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. What's your opinion? Josh would be like, nah, it doesn't mean that at all.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be concerned a little bit. I think that's terrible.
A little bit. You're blushing.
No. Watch out, buddy. Sorry. Excuse me. Thank you.
You're blushing.
No, I would be
Do you like Michael Myers too?
Love Mike. I love the movies. Big fan of his work. Not that big of a fan. He's a very big fan, apparently. Yeah, that's a little weird. It could also be... No, I've never heard of that before. That is a unique... That's a unique situation. I would be maybe a little bit concerned, but also probably just talk to him about it. That's what I would say. Whoa. Lavender just got up from her nap. That's why the pillow was there, by the way. So good morning, honey. She is now up.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, Bubba. How are you? Good morning.
Do you want to say anything?
You're beautiful. Okay, I got one more email, then we can wrap it up. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. This one's called Threesome Nightmare. Bum, ba, bum.
What is it called?
Threesome Nightmare.
Oh gosh.
My partner and I have been together for 8 years. We are engaged and live together. Late 2023, we wanted to spice things up in the bedroom, so we recruited a friend. You recruited a friend is crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, recruited my best friend to be our third. We went over all of our do's and don'ts with each other and decided let's give it a go. The first time we did it, it was all fine. Everything went as good as a threesome could go. No jealousy, just fun. The second time we did it, everything was fine. We were all having a great time. Wine was flowing. Tensions were getting higher. However, I had to go to the bathroom, and this is where it gets messy. One of our don'ts was no intimacy while the other person was out of the room. I trusted my partner and my best friend to sit and not do anything maybe other than kiss. However, I came back to seeing what I could only describe as the most heart-shattering sight. Okay, I'm not reading that. Anyway, my partner was... I wasn't sure how to react or feel. I'm going to read you that after what they actually said, and you're going to be like, why did you get that descriptive? Wasn't sure how to react or feel, so I went over and pretended everything was fine. Once he had his fun with her, it was my turn. It was my turn. I waited for him to catch his breath and clean up, but he came back and said that he couldn't be bothered and was tired. I couldn't help myself, but ran out of the spare room into our bedroom and saw my eyes out. He came in afterwards and was unsure as to why I was so upset. I reluctantly told him what I just saw and how it made me feel. He apologized and I went to bed really upset. The next morning, my friend was still here, which was fine. I said she could stay as she had no way of getting home. However, it felt weird. I went into the room where she was to debrief. So you recruited her and then you had a debrief. Why are you talking like that? Sorry. And ask about who initiated everything. She said it was my partner. After she had gone home, I then spoke to my partner in depth about how it hurt me and why it wasn't okay. He asked the same question of who initiated it. He said it was her. He told me in great detail on how it started. I made him grovel for a couple weeks. I don't know that word. Grovel? Is that just like ponder?
I don't know that word either.
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's a word. Maybe we're dumb. I made him grovel for a couple weeks, then forgave him. But I've never forgotten to this day. My partner and friend refused to be in the same room as each other and still blame each other for what happened. In my eyes, they are both wrong and shouldn't have started without me. With that being said, what are your guys' opinions on it? P.S. I'm a silent, long-time listener and viewer of Karlee and your podcast. Keep up the amazing content. Kind regards from Scotland. Oh. Okay. What are your opinions about that? That's crazy.
Well, first of all, I never think threesomes are a good idea because of that reason, personally. But I know they can be for some, but personally, no. I don't know. I don't have an opinion other than the fact that I would feel the same way as you. I'd be absolutely shattered. So yeah, I literally don't have an opinion or advice because I just highly recommend not to ever do a threesome again.
Well, I bet you guys learned your lesson. No, that's all I'll say. I'm sure. And again, I'm sure you guys had your ground rules and you had all of your do's and don'ts and whatever, which again, I think if you guys are going to introduce something like that into your relationships, that's like a vital piece of it.
Right.
Unfortunately, the rules weren't abided by, and now it's kind of like, okay, everything's kind of messed up now. And now, I don't know. This is why, especially with your best friend, it's it's better if it's like a stranger, because then you can like never see them again. Yeah, like and there's no like personal connection. That's too much. That's too close.
I mean, I can see how you could be like, oh, you're more comfortable, but also it's so close that it's like, if it's a stranger, you guys both just never talk to that person again, but your best friend's going to be around, so it's going to be
always,
it's going to be very weird, and it can ruin a friendship possibly.
Well, now she said now they can't even be in the same room as each other, like her fiance and her friend, right? So, and if it's your fiance, you're planning on getting married, so clearly he's going to be in your life long term, and
now she's not even at your wedding.
Yeah, I don't know. What, is she going to be your maid of honor?
I don't know. I honestly don't have any advice. I don't, because that's insane.
Yeah,
I feel like my friendship and my soon-to-be marriage would be just ruined anyways.
Yeah, agreed.
If you, maybe next time, don't have someone you know. Go on like Tinder or something.
Yeah, if you guys are into that, just, get a random or something.
Yeah, or like someone that, maybe a random that like is consistently random. Like,
like somebody that's not close to you, but you guys
both meet for that reason.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and then become friends after that, because then it's different.
Yeah, because you're introducing somebody who's already been your best friend. It's a little much. Okay, well, that's it for the emails. That's all we want to read. You can close out. I think we've gotten enough.
Well, that was it for today's podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you didn't, don't worry. The next one will not be like this. And I'm praying for America. And that's it. I don't have anything else to say, I don't think. Do you have anything to say?
No, that's it. We're
all right.
We're all done.
We'll see you guys next week, and bye.